So it looks like Victor wanted to match the Tinkerbell action. He was vibing.
Very cool how the colors blend into each other.
It does look nice. A little mirror action.
Yeah, I wonder if the deck will be a mirror. I see some Storm Regions. That makes me think so.
Are we getting an Amethyst?
Yeah,
I know
see
Scott is playing Amber Steel.
And he's against Amethyst Steel.
He's playing the song version of the deck.
Yeah. I see a Robin Hood in there, Rhino.
Yeah, he's got Naveen's and stuff like that. He's a little top heavy. You started 3-0 in this tournament, playing the aggro version?
Yeah, I'm playing Amber Steel songs.
Yep. Okay.
I see a whole new world.
It's Sapphire Amethyst.
Yeah, I thought I saw Fox, but I was wrong.
I think it was a Fox. I saw Fox too.
I think Amber Steel is the most popular deck. Do you have some stats about this tournament?
We do.
See what
people
are playing?
Let's see. Amber Steel was the most popular event today. Yes.
Jeez Louise. Can they see it?
Yep, they can see this. Yep.
7 versus 3.
3, yeah.
And that was, makes sense.
Yeah, pretty well rounded.
This new card, Rhino.
Rhino's a beast.
He's one of the best cards I've ever seen. I underestimated him, to be honest.
I think we did.
And I'm like, you can't Singer 5. I'd rather have Queen.
Yeah.
But somehow it's a race to steel decks, and his resist.
So good. Oh,
and
why did he put 1 on himself?
Oh,
did I miss that?
Yeah, it looks like the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll fix it. Now, Robin Hood, Troubadour. You hate to pass against these steel decks. The cards in your hand are like a liability.
Wonder if Victor's a Magic player.
Oh, yeah, where you count down. So anybody else play Lorcana? So, it's Blurple.
You didn't get a low that one, right? It's the opposite way.
Sapphire on the left, and they're fixing it. -1.
I just watched you do it. I'm like, that was weird.
Do you have any favorite decks? This matchup is extremely one-sided for the Amber Steel player. We'll see, especially on the play. I would say Amber Steel is very favored here.
Amber Steel on the play seems real good in this matchup.
Yeah.
We did get at least a turn 2 ramp though, so slows down a little bit.
Puts perspective on turn 1 missing, not a big deal. But they fell. She wouldn't even do much here that she can't challenge Troubadour.
True. It's a pretty good start.
Right into a whole new world.
No, we're just questing, which he's pretty safe right now. Not too many. I mean, I guess Into the Unknown would kind of suck, but if we get ramped by 2, are we that upset?
Yeah, you'll be okay with that. I just played this matchup with Into the Unknowns. I was always happy to get the extra ink.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because, honestly, you don't really like inking unless you're very healthy on cards.
Yeah, they get 1 or 2. This matchup's all about running out of steam. So you see Scott here valuing the Rapunzel rather than Strength of Raging Fire's opponent. He just needs to keep cards rolling.
And honestly, like the willpower is very important in this. Like, it's very difficult for Sapphire Amethyst to get big numbers for strength attacks, specifically until very late in the game. Because even like if there was a turn 5 Elsa this turn, what is it doing?
Again,
it's not doing anything.
That's always been the counter to Amethyst Sapphires. They don't have to be prepared to go wide. In terms of 2 words.
Wide and lots of willpower.
Yeah, so Scott doesn't really have to get a whole new world. He just has to keep 1 or 2 cards every turn. So that strength into Rapunzel was great. I would say perfect would be Storm Rage on into Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Since he could have gotten an extra card out of it.
Yeah.
He hopefully gets another Rapunzel and another Storm and keeps it going.
Peter Pan's very good. Turning on, cards like Iago is pretty massive, which will help in the following turns. But there's a good chance that the Peter Pan's an easy target to be removed. Also, because maybe he takes a little ping damage on Troubadour, but aside from that, not much for him to do this turn. Yeah, and that just proves how good Elsa was.
Yep, she was there on 5. It's the purple main strategy, and too late on the draw. The shift already happened. Didn't have the bell on turn 1. It's really important to go 3 and 2 to take out something like Rapunzel. Robin Hood is going to be a menace to get rid of. So Rapunzel, a lot of lore. The new card, what got him a game against me, Monstro, the big whale.
Okay.
Hits for a lot of damage, but it takes a new card to discard every single turn to turn it ready.
Yep.
is expensive. A lot of ink, a lot of cards in hand.
Yep.
He doesn't have time to set that up.
Yeah, I'm very indifferent about the Monstro. I understand the appeal, but I also understand like the pure game mechanics of it all. And it seems very difficult to have the best of both worlds with that character in general.
So big. And then the World's Grace Criminal Mind is what I responded with. He was
Nice.
healed up. The Popsicle heals him.
Yep.
But he's very vulnerable afterwards. He emptied his whole hand, which on Scott's there 2 cards, which is perfect for him. I don't think he wants to use Whole New World, whether he has it in his deck or not. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Scott's definitely playing the suite of them, and I think if we get down to 0 cards, then you want to refill and just keep going wide. It's a great position because it's so difficult for the Sapphire Amethyst deck to interact that way. We do see an Iago here, which is nice because it does have Rush.
Croquet Mallet, he's just emptying his hand to fight.
Yep.
Which is the best you can do right now. That's a good play. Hopefully his last card from like Finders Keepers runs on the other side to refill. Scott draws 3rd card and then we'll draw for turn. 4 cards is a lot, but if these 4 cards were say all little rhinos, maybe the Blurple player could come back.
Yeah.
There's a chance. You never give up.
I see at least 1 big rhino.
That's
and
really
a Storm
strong.
Rage on. So
hard for Blurple to deal with that card.
Yeah, that card seems like in round 1 we watched Ben play versus Melissa, and like Ben just plays turn 2 Rhino and Melissa's playing dogs. And I'm like sitting here the whole time going, how do you remove this card?
Yeah, it counters that whole deck.
Like you are so very invested on a good tramp, and like that's it. Card's so good.
Yeah, Slap Daisy, Nala, Little John, everything here.
So we did draw a Naveen, which is interesting.
Yeah, he's got some options. He could play it and do that, but I think he's probably valuing the Rhino. He just hard cast that on the board. Get a little Rhino to shift on. He's halfway there. Not a lot of lore on the table yet.
Interesting here.
Some songs in his hand.
Yeah, so he can
keep singing.
Pick off a couple characters. I like getting rid of Peter Pan here to slow down the other evasive rush characters. And then we're just gonna play a Naveen, and we get a Grabber Sword. Oh man, that was a oof. That was a real good turn, Rob.
Yeah, so quickly Ember Steel can go from the aggressive deck, and then we saw on the left Victor used his whole hand of resources to fight, and then now Ember Steel's the control deck. He just casted 3 removal spells to control the game, and now he's not trying to go super fast. He's saying we can go 3 or 4 more turns. I'm gonna keep going sideways.
It is definitely not Scott's first time playing Ember Steel.
Yeah, very well crafted turn there. Ember Steel been in the game since set 1, right?
Yeah, man. Good deck for sure. It's been around. That was such a good play. Like even just really going through the paces of saying like, okay, like what does Sapphire Amethyst have to do to get back in this game? There's just not a whole lot of good answers to this board. Because even if this is just the Hades, right? Like, all right, we can Hades.
And then Croquet Mallet takes out the P.
Yeah.
Got it back in it.
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps.
I think you have to do the best you can each turn. You're going to Croquet Mallet and you take out probably Troubadour. Singer. You want to take out as much Singer as you can each turn.
Yeah. Yeah, so, drawing a Whole New World now doesn't even feel terrible because we can... Looks like we can play
thing like a Strength of Raging Fire.
Yeah.
Then you got 5 ink to work with.
Yep. Looks like we have Pete and Rhino in hand. I don't know the 3rd card. But both of those cards are pretty great. I think the Rhino might ironically be better than Pete on average against Sapphire Amethyst. Just because I'm not, there's some actions, but he's already inked 2 friends. So now you're kind of just like saying like, okay, like what else can you have? But this is a good quest up here to 15. Only 2 cards left in Scott's hand.
Not the most powerful turn. You just got to get 5 more lore. That's why I was Scott's thinking.
Yep. Like this, this Tamatoa has to run in, right? Has to challenge. At the end of the day, he's still 15-0. And this is not the type of board where Sapphire Amethyst can very quickly turn around. Most of the time, you would see a board where, like, for several turns, you just remove characters, and then you have enough just general turn card sideways to gain lore. That's not where we are in the game right now.
A lot of value.
Ooh, we're going to get back a Croquet Mallet.
Get Rush. Surprised. I guess he couldn't afford to play.
No, I think he
Popsicle
just
at all. He had
no.
to 7 ink.
Oh yeah, he could have got Popsicle back, right? Did he only get Mallet back?
They both came back to his hand last turn.
Oh, and he doesn't
And-
have Popsicle yet.
He doesn't have an ink to
Yeah.
play. He had to use all 7. Very well played. Victor is fighting
Yep.
each turn. He's got the biggest board now.
There's the
It's
whole new
just-
world. A little bit slow.
Yeah, Whole New World's not what Scott wants to see. He just wants to see.
Well, I think he would have been happy to sing it
Yeah, last
with
turn.
Naveen and then just like dump a hand once they figure it out.
Can kind of run out of steam. There's a lot of situational songs. You can remove their singers, like he just did.
Mhm.
It makes an awkward spot. Victor's fighting it out. That's why the early lead is so important. He needs to be prep. He kind of made his be prep at home
Team
with just
Pete's.
some Tamatoas and croquet mallets. And he can keep getting that croquet mallet back if he plays another Tamatoa.
Yep.
Gets a good, really cool combo.
Yeah, Croquet Mal is a very interesting card for sure.
But did you expect that card to be so meta defining when it came out in Ted 2, I think?
It's been a little while. It takes a very particular type of deck to make it good. So
Have you seen it in that Jafar lamp deck?
I
That's
played
the-
Jafar Lamp in Set Champs.
Did you like that?
It was
Did you-
fun.
How'd
It
it
was
go
fun.
for you?
I went 3-2. It didn't make top 8, but it was fun.
It's very fun. Flurple is one of the funnest decks. Pete, 3 Pete, Pete, and they're all gone. It's on the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
turn.
All the Pete's are gone.
17 is not 20.
It is not.
Keep fighting it out, Victor. I wanted to get
Yeah,
it.
because the last card in Scott hand is a whole new world.
If you can't sing it, it's just giving your opponent all the resources. Sapphire's more ink. Always been kind of the counter to Whole New World. Just ramping out of, is that a Rhino or a Zeus? Whole New World.
Just been a whole new world. I mean, a Rhino is not bad. Ideally, here he would love to ink and play. Like honestly, 2 Rhinos is not bad.
Possibly shift to get 19 lore.
Well, if he goes Rhino,
Mhm.
because we can still ink.
Yeah.
-1
They both
strength
survive.
to your Tamatoa.
Yeah. Not gonna be played.
Oh, is he tough on ink here? Okay, ink the Ariel. I thought he had a second Rhino. I guess not. Yeah, only one little rough. Maybe he was two. Both. It was the dual ink
This
Rhino.
could be a gigantic comeback. I would be
Could be.
very impressed. Victor has been playing every round here. Just very well crafted turns.
There's
Not
Nelson.
giving up. Elsie's going to take out the Rhino. He's going to need another Elsa, another type of removal. This Scott is going to get his big chance.
Yeah.
2 turns probably to set up 3 lore.
Yeah, so Scott's gonna get to untap
hmm
with 7 ink and then potentially an 8th ink. So he's I do like picking this up now just so we save the ink for next turn.
Mhm.
But it's still gonna be a little bit difficult. You might he might have to a couple more tricks might be needed for him to pull out this turn. It just depends on what Scott has here to kind of finish off the game. Like it looks like a lot of songs, which is really not ideal right now.
Absolutely. No flutes anymore.
Mm-mm.
Elsa's back in Victor's hand from that fox.
Mhm.
What a great match this was. These are always the best games when somebody gets up to a high lore and you're still alive.
We're clawing. You got to claw.
Yeah, claw your way back.
As JDZ Quest says,
Mhm.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah,
I didn't hear no bell.
exactly. Victor's been there's like a quarterback in the pocket. Don't scramble. Keep going.
All right, so we get a Naveen.
That's gonna let him use that song,
That's pretty good.
which really slows down the questing power. That
Yep,
Tamatoa
that's
is
true. Gives a little bit more time.
Probably gives him an extra turn.
Another Rhino, which inevitably will be eaten by a.
Mhm. Also,
An
gonna
Elsa.
challenge that, and
Honestly, so he could shift here, and I think he should. Yeah, I think that's very good.
nice.
So this makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of compete with all of
Yeah,
this.
you got to go 3 + 2 goes into Rhino, and
Yeah.
he just lowered Hades.
Right.
So
So
now
it's
awkward.
only Fox.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fox plus Elsa. Naveen gets the quest.
Yep.
That gets Scott to 19.
It's pretty good.
Very
Pretty
good. Ink friends.
That's a third friends that he is inked. Now, granted, we have
Mhm.
a ton of cards.
Yeah, I guess he has enough. I mean, it's kind of scary for Scott whenever you see them inking friends. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have the
yeah.
answers. They have cards better than friends.
Right.
Whenever I see my opponents ink a good card, I'm
Right.
a little worried.
You're like, all right, well, he already has it.
Yeah, he already has it from these
Yeah,
cards.
and this is- yeah.
You're gonna
So that's a
save
big.
the-
I mean,
save
he
the
does save
Elsa.
Elsa. Interesting.
I'm surprised you would give him 2 ink. Maybe he's not worried because Scott's so low on cards.
I honestly, what's more interesting is the. I don't know if we have enough to Elsa still, right?
Yeah, not on this turn.
So allowing the Naveen to
Mhm.
sing is kind of dangerous as well.
Good.
Because if we sing
A whole
for
new world.
free and then have 10, 11 ink,
Yeah.
that could be very difficult.
Yeah, you had to take out the Singer 5. I agree. I don't like giving 2 ink. I don't like leaving the Singer 5.
Yeah.
Gives Scott more outs. Whole new world. It would be good.
Looks like he doesn't
Could
have it,
end
though.
it. Hey, hard casted and is digging.
Yeah, it didn't get there. Looks
Wow.
like a Robin Hood. I'm not sure what the other cards in
Okay.
that thing are.
We know Elsa's there to take out the Robin Hood.
Yep.
It's gonna go to a. Scott's gonna get one more turn. It looks like.
Potentially 2 more turns. We're not
We'll
going to gain
see.
too much lore this turn. So it depends what the follow-up is for the Elsa.
That's true. Elsa's not enough. Yeah, we have to challenge twice on the left. So
Yeah. So basically 3 of the 4 characters with Elsa have to challenge. And Scott will get to draw a card. So ideally, it's still pretty tough.
another Hades as well. For
Hades-
Victor, it looks like.
Hades is solid.
Yeah, that's very solid.
Hades is probably better than Elsa,
Yeah.
for sure.
Hades, the Robin Hood challenge, quest for 3 goes to 10. Then you're right, Scott's gonna get 2 turns.
Yeah, I think Scott should end up with 2 turns out of this. And there's a Zeus in hand, so ideally Scott does not have what he needs to close out the game for sure. Honestly, he really needed the second whole new world. At any of the last 2 turns probably. Because even when he played the Naveen, he would have probably played and then just sung a whole new world.
That's classic Amber Steel. It's at the draw power. They have
Yep.
all the singers, they have all the
Ooh.
songs, but
All right, so that's a big deal.
that's gonna
Now we
get
get to
him
quest for 4 and
more.
keep a character in play. We're still short.
2 low short.
Yep. And these decks don't normally run goats or anything like that anymore. So it depends. If he has enough ink,
Mhm.
I think putting this Peter Pan in play is fine. Like just adding another character to the board. Looks like he's thinking about it.
This is what you don't want to see as the Amber Steel player. Whole new world, and then they have 3 Hades.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you can't discard them.
yeah.
Is you either wheel them into the removal or you wheel them out of it.
Right.
And here,
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
into it.
6, 7, 8. So he's still 1 short. With probably no realistic reason to gain that extra lore. So we have 4. Zeus. Hades. And then he just has the 4th Pete. And the final card in hand. Not sure. I don't know what that is. Tough to say what it is if you wouldn't play it there.
yeah, plenty of ink.
Because I think no matter what, playing a second card, if it's any character, I think you have to play them both. Like I wouldn't even have Zeus. I just would have been like 2 characters go. Like you have to have double Elsa. You have to have ways to interact. Because we know he has the Elsa Fitzbeard here to easily get rid of this Pete. Oh, we're even slow rolling it.
Yep, always draw first. It must be around 9 ink.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. Because last turn he had 10.
They got enough to do that.
And this is effectively game, I think. I do like that. Just utilizing the Peter Pan to the fullest.
Yeah.
They can't gain lore, so you may as well challenge with them. And then there it is, another 6 lore. And that's effectively game. I don't think there's any way for Scott to win this one.
Yeah, AJ mentioned that you could pull any card out of his sleeve. Which would it be?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that it would have to be a whole new world to remove any removal. Hopefully, Victor draws 7 T-pos, and then maybe you can get a last card, but not on at that turn. It was too late.
Why not? Of course, we wouldn't push the center button to hit the reset. Why would we ever do that?
Wow, that was just. I bet a lot of people in the chat. We got 82, 84 viewers. Play Amethyst, Sapphire, and have trouble against Ember Steel. What did Victor do there that kind of got him the win on the draw? How do you think he pulled that out?
I mean, he stayed in the fight. He challenged well. I think he utilized his Peter Pan Shadow very well. I think he utilized Elsa very well. I think knowing the 3 Hades was definitely a nice attribute to it.
Word. Boom.
Like the
All the
uninkables
rhinos.
and just understanding that like Scott was never playing multiple threats.
Mhm.
So since he was never playing multiple threats, utilizing Hades So your best ability was great. There could have even been a turn later on where the Fox could have just picked back up the Hades. So I think that was definitely a key ray. Like got back in there. Obviously, Scott not being able to gain the 20th lore. There's a world where Victor got a little lucky, for sure. And sometimes we gotta take those,
especially on the draw in a tough matchup. You need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta hope. Like, hey, he's got to have it, right? And if he doesn't have it, I get to win.
On it.
And that's
Any
definitely possible.
There could have been tough.
Right.
Has Fox always been in when you were playing Jafar, for example? Did you have Madam and Fox?
I had foxes and not snakes. Yeah.
And that seems to be what he's doing here. So good to replay all those big cards, even this genie to draw a card.
Yeah, Fox is just powerful. In general, it's just a good card almost all the time. I mean, it's arguably one of the best cards in Disney Lorcana. So the added effect of all of the wonderful abilities of coming to play when they enter play, get an additional ability is so strong. So I think Foxes will, for the most part, until rotation happens, if we don't get them back, or her back, I should say, probably gonna see some love in these decks.
Yeah, they just did really well there.
Going through it though, I think Scott kind of did everything he was supposed to do for the most part. There's an argument to be made that maybe he got a little ambitious with the singer earlier, and maybe we just shouldn't have exerted that Naveen a couple turns ago, because singing. If the plan was ever to a whole new world, then I think you were supposed to just not sing or not quest with Naveen earlier.
Everybody knows that card can be your best savior or your worst nightmare. Amber Seal.
Yeah,
it's so strong, but if you can't sing it effectively.
You can see there we already have. It looked like I think we already had Naveen whole new world.
First turn.
I think it's like
a little bit later.
If our opening 7 is just like perfect, I think it's okay. If we just go, quest, shift, quest, I think that's great. Little telling there of what one drop we have.
Yeah, you got to choose between the Rhino and the Robin.
It's funny because I think I saw him keep the Rapunzel here. I would almost be more inclined to just go as wide as possible, even early. But of course, a turn 1 bell really does damper those problems.
Yeah, that's where Robin Hood. Maybe that's what he's playing around is the bank of Robin Hood. What he's expecting about.
Yep.
One big factor of these is how many cards your opponent mulligans. Can give you a read on, like if Blurple keeps say 7 cards,
I already
know they have the bell.
I already see the bell.
I think that's what Scott's counting on.
Yeah.
He's probably planning to shift and challenge.
Oh, he did not decide to banish there. Interesting.
A lot of skill.
Oh, is there a croquet mallet?
Yeah, to give it rush.
That would be a super tech.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy.
Oh man, I would if there's a croquet mallet here. That is like expert level.
Yeah,
I would love it. No, all right.
It could be.
Maybe he was just starved a bit on ink.
Yeah, you got to be careful not run out.
There's a croquet mallet. No,
there it is.
Right,
bell, and that's what you called it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That stops the
that
shift.
Was just so good.
Of the singer, Mr. Smee is a great quester.
So very good,
but not great at singing. Robin Hood was very important to the strategy.
Yeah, that was a clippable moment for guys. That was super good.
We call it the sale too to get the extra value.
Yeah, loved
that
it.
Reversal the game. If anybody's trying to play Sapphire Amethyst, take some notes on how he's playing this.
Yeah, game. and I was trying to talk to Melissa about this. We were talking about Amethyst Steel, and I said, right now, if you want to play that deck, I think you need to have some curveballs in it, and I think like a card like Cogsworth is one of those options. These item decks playing Tamatoa, Croquet Mallets, honestly, very fair card to play in it. And we just saw it on display. I think that play might have completely disrupted Scott's entire game.
Yeah, you got to play the Aerial instead. We know Scott has the whole new world. He doesn't really love to cast it here where he can't protect the Aerial.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just Naveen play the whole new world and maybe sing as Strength or Zeus.
Yeah, there's a world, and it's tough because now we're getting in that position where Elsa is online. So with Elsa online, it's really difficult to kind of hold our singers up. So that's also a fear here is that if we decide to try and take a slow turn off and establish more of the board, if we only have one singer 5, the Elsa will very easily remove her. And you can see Scott's going through the paces of all right, like what do I need? How do I get there? Because I think he does have Naveen and a whole new world in his hand, but that's kind of his whole play.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't think that that's like ideal. So I would much rather take another turn, just set up, but you really have to fear Elsa. And not to mention, let's just say we don't do anything that's dramatic to the board. It's very easy for Victor to just go, okay, I'll take a slow turn, I'll develop, I'll do another sale or something like that, and I'll just get the most out of your whole new world.
Always rough to pass it against somebody who just ramped with the TPO, and always tough when they have a 3/3 stat line with that Merlin Crab readied. It would have to be really not the best play, not the worst. He's deliberating.
Yeah, you can see his Storm.
He can sing on himself and play Rapunzel, which was one of the best ways. I just won this matchup.
Yeah.
I just played this. But I had a little Cinderella there on turn 1 to exert that, leave the aerial readied. But this...
Oof, they're just throwing it away.
Yeah, he abandons the Rapunzel plan. He doesn't have the Naveen, I guess.
And he just played nothing. Crazy.
Hard cast Zeus on the crab and challenge the bell, at least simplifies the board.
That would help. If Naveen, I guess Naveen Zeus would be pretty good too.
Naveen would just add an extra layer to that. This is like a roulette. Yeah. Anything could come out of those.
And he definitely has 4 Zeuses in his deck, so it's completely realistic to have drawn one.
Yeah, it's one more character, hard cast a strength on the Merlin Crab and challenge the bell.
Looks like he has multiple aerials that he found. Not exactly what you were hoping for.
Yeah, he doesn't have
the Zeus
on this turn. Next turn.
Yeah, so the fear here is that I feel like this me has to run into Bell, because otherwise you're just going to give up both aerials to an Elsa, and I don't think we can be a part of that gameplay. Yeah, Scott makes the play. Oh, this is a slick play. You can Elsa. No, we can't do it. Okay. I saw the Into the Unknown hanging out there. I was like, oh, we could have some fun, but still doesn't get rid of both aerials.
Yeah, 2 strength on Elsa. It was good resistant to it.
Well, there we go. We don't need to draw cards again.
Yeah. He knows right after the whole new world, he plays it really fast.
Yep.
Which is just a good tip. Or not a good tip is to ink before you draw. But he just really doesn't see the value in that friends anymore.
Oh, there you go. See, that's kind of what I was talking about. This bit of a slow roll turn. He's like, okay, I'm just going to take this time. I'm going to ink 3 ink this turn, go super high up, let you do whatever you want next turn, and then start playing the game again. I mean, Scott does not have a threatening board per se. And if you can really accelerate your inkwell, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's 3. As Muller said, the last word in the chat. 80s online, 6 inks. Obviously get the challenge, and he can do anything he wants.
Puts 2 damage on. I want to say his ink's a little bit hard to see over there. I think there is at least 3 ink left.
I don't think he's used. Oh yeah, he used.
Yeah, he's sailed twice. So the bottom is what he's used. The way he's been doing it. So he's been basically pulling things down, but since we can't see his full inkwell, it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Going through. What's our last card that we need here? And it looks like it's just Fox. Okay. Ink to Fox, play to Fox. Not sure how good that is for Crab.
And we just saw Ariel get us Along Came Zeus.
Yeah.
So we know what's coming. Guessing it.
So no actions.
Not that strong against Amethyst. Sapphire has so many characters with the removals. Strength. It gets singers on the board.
It does. So he's able to get 2 singers on the board. Elsa doesn't remove anything on her by herself. We could set up a Peter Pan Iago line. I think we have enough ink for that. We can't sing Into the Unknown, so that's why it's going into the inkwell. And there is an Elsa, so it just depends on what we're doing with it. It looks like Oh yeah, so we had the
crab.
crab. So it did get rid of the Singer 5, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, huge.
Also, it looks like Scott has the shift aerial in his hand. That would have been really nice to get in play.
Last game you had to ink that too. Just very powerful card, hard to get on the board, and then you need a lot of ink to use her ability.
Yep.
Very powerful and hard to use from behind. There's that Zeus.
I do like a Robin here.
Yep. Good card, gonna get a card back. But seeing that lore total too, not enough.
Yeah, especially in hand. There's a Pete, a Rhino. Doesn't seem any more ways to draw cards. And I believe we've already inked one Rapunzel.
I think Victor's got a big the Tamatoa. Yep, that's what he just threw off this popsicle, which is exactly what he's been waiting for.
Yep.
That I think he inks friends on the other side. And his game plan last time was 2 of these, and he just found his first one here.
Yep.
He's going to give him some more popsicles. He can heal that Elsa. He's thinking, should I get a card with popsicle or a croquet mallet so I can rush in? How much danger am I in? Can I be a little greedy, get a card, or do I need to rush right now? And I think he's not really in a rush.
I don't think he necessarily needs to be, but I do like. I also just like keeping as many singers away as possible.
Yeah.
So even if all we're doing, is getting rid of a Singer 4, I still think it's kind of worth it.
I agree. I think that's what his mindset was right there, and there he goes.
Yeah.
Thinking about which he has to go. Yeah, he can't take out Pete, I guess.
No, you can take. Well, not with Elsa.
Yeah, not with both.
But like I said, we can just get rid of a Singer 4 here, and I think that's okay.
So many options. Lorcana is such a tough game. It's like simple, but like very weird spots. You have to play around every possible option.
You can learn it in 10 minutes, but it will definitely take 1,000 hours to master.
And that's the beauty of it. We got our favorite Disney characters, 87 friends. Ooh, that's even more than there was. But tuning into this this is a matchup you're going to see a lot. And people hopefully taking tips from the best.
Yeah.
Here, playing it out.
Definitely a well-fought battle here. This is 2 games on the draw for Sapphire Amethyst, and it has been played very well.
Yeah, he's bringing it back. Very confident.
And this is virtually, this is round 4, but we're really talking about playing for a top 8 game
right now
here. Because the going to 3-1, being able to intentionally draw into the top cut is a big deal. So if you're able to pick up a 2-0 on the draw in one of arguably your worst matchups, it feels pretty good.
He did this in a weird way. I think he could have saved 1 damage. If he had challenged Troubadour, he would take 1, which he healed.
Right, yeah, I
Then
think he
end
could
up
be
on the
a
other
full
guy.
health. I agree.
So thinking it through, and out here, we have all the time in the world. We got 2 mines in there. You're thinking about 17 possibilities, and you want to get all your games done in time, and and it didn't matter. They got Zeus anyway.
That's true.
He just wanted to make sure it was out of Robin Hood challenging at range, forced the Zeus, and Scott sets up another aerial. Down to 2 cards. He needs another whole new world to get
right. Like that's kind of where
it.
we're at right now. Is that Scott does have an established board with multiple singers, which is nice. But it looks like another big Tamatoa coming through here.
So good. This is how he won last game. Cycling these croquet mallets.
Right.
Twice.
So we can now remove this Robin Hood effectively.
Wow.
Which is nice.
Such a good combination.
We do have to lose. Do we have another ink to play our popsicle as well? Okay. So that's good. So we have the draw on them. Now we can actually keep both of our characters in play.
Wow.
But yeah, Tamatoa doing, happy as a clam is doing so much good work here.
Which is nice to see. There was a lot of people investing in that card last set, and he's still going strong. Love to see the new cards getting some love. This time it's Rhino. Last time it was him.
Yep. Luckily, we did not get an enchanted Rhino.
Thank goodness. Could have been $300 at least. Is how much play he's seeing.
Yeah, I agree. So still have a Singer 5 here. Looks like we have Rhino, a Strength potentially.
Cards in hand, and we got some people in the chat. Hi, Mr. Marble Mentos.
Braden is playing in the event. He is currently drawing into top 8.
Yeah, Braden was my opponent.
With Mr. Rob here.
So he let me go to the stream, and he got to do whatever. Maybe he'll commentate the next one.
Maybe. Picks up an extra lore there. Cheeky lore. It's a good couple characters to play this turn.
Yeah, Rhino, just so strong. We just never got to shift him this game.
Yeah.
This whole match.
He was definitely kept off. And again, we have to remember that turn 2 Croquet Mallet.
I wonder if Scott,
it literally
Scott
might be the
thought
whole
of
game.
that line and played into it. Like, I'm going to force him to have it, or if he was okay with losing his character. But sometimes you just have to leave your character ready and miss out on that lore. But it's so hard. You see how far he is. He needs every lore he can get.
Yeah, I agreed.
Brayden with the back-to-back. Yep, Brayden yesterday at a big tournament.
Finished in top 4 of the Invitational.
Crushed it. Fan favorite here at the Encounter.
It's a local shop. He's local here.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Disney Lorcana, supporting your local game store, playing with some Disney characters. And
there it is. I love it.
That's the combo. You
To
mentioned
me,
that last game.
To me right now, if the only way we could play Iago is with Peter Pan. And man, it is so good when you do it.
Big, and you get to take out this aerial for free.
You just eat an aerial. I love it.
Evasive, so he resists, so he can't be fought back.
Right.
Rhino, such a powerful challenger, but
can't do anything.
Have evasive. There's no way to give him evasive.
Yeah. Sadly, this Peter Pan doesn't have anything to do, but his impact is felt through Iago without a doubt.
And a genie can come.
Yeah,
I had 2 cards. Scott's had 2 cards.
Yep. And we no longer have a Singer 5 again.
Just huge. We're playing in Steel Songs. We can keep them off that Singer amount.
Yep.
Even though Pete has more stats, you might think Pete might be a bigger target. There you
go. Pete's only a bigger target. We're playing against Amethyst.
That's it. Yeah, a challenge. Locations. Somebody's good at.
Clearly, Scott now on the back foot. 3-0 in this matchup. That's tough at this late in the game. So we are just deciding we're not shifting.
Yeah.
No reason. We're just going to put a threat on the board, which I do enjoy. And Rhino is massive, so it's going to require some stuff.
And the Elsa.
Yeah.
Both have to go in.
Obviously, Scott would have loved to have a storm there to remove the Iago, but wasn't there.
He's had to use so many songs already.
Yeah.
On that one turn.
Yeah, only one whole new world so far, though.
91 viewers. And Blurp will get there.
Welcome. Here we are, going through it, going through the paces. It looks like there is another Happy as a Clan.
No way.
Which
so
is
much value.
Kind of insane.
Victor eat those up.
Yeah, there it is.
Mallet popsicle or 2 popsicles?
He is definitely making this card look like a $75 card again. All right, like we've been a little we're far away from that time.
Yeah.
But man, is it looking good?
So matchup, and
for anyone coming in that does not know what Croquet Mallet does, it is simply a 1-cost uninkable Amethyst action that reads banish this and give a character rush. And this is now the 4th time we're seeing it played.
Yeah, it has. It's been recycled 3 times.
Very good.
It feels like an action, how you use it every turn. And it also is an item that gets around Pete and can linger around.
Yeah, it's nice. It is very nice. It's been very good today. And there you go. We've just seen these popsicle Croquet Mallet on repeat.
Wow, that's going to save his Elsa. Keep her alive.
It actually kept the Iago alive.
True. Yeah, that was damaged.
So we're gonna
sing friends.
Oh, there's a Pete. There was a Pete.
This turn? No, I don't. Not this turn.
Oh, yeah, right. You're right.
Yeah,
he didn't quest with it. He didn't quest with it. You're right.
He saw this coming. So much power on Lurple.
So now it just depends.
We saw some friends here. Victor just casted it. They're in game 2. Sapphire, Amethyst on the draw both games. A tough matchup
against Ambersteel.
Ambersteel.
Wheel?
Yeah.
Wheel.
Oh, Scott. Yes.
How you're doing? How did your game go?
2-2. I played against Amethyst Steel. He was running 3 dots on Desperate Plan. I was at 17. I had 2 lore on the board, but he had Calhoun. So I couldn't go sideways because a goat would win the game or a rose. So I sat silent for a turn and he couldn't clear them. So then I cost him 20.
Those are the best games, right down to the wire.
So that was refreshing.
You're really familiar with that Amethyst Steel deck, too.
I know.
That was your
That's
claim to
my
fame.
opponent. I was like, unfortunately, I can call all your lines.
Yeah, it's just really important.
Rapunzel? No. And tell you what,
Rhino.
there's another Robin here, which is pretty good.
It's big, and they keep replacing themselves.
And looks like he
Are we
has.
just playing the Robin? Not keeping?
Yeah, he's taking the go wide route in this game so far.
This makes sense because a Amethyst deck can't easily deal with go wide.
Right.
And like if you put one threat in the Hades, then it's worse for us as Gamer Seal. That's my thought.
There is the Hades, as you called it.
Finally.
Yeah.
Last game there was many Hades.
And I bet they're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming. That's the first one of many.
It is totally inevitable at this point. I'll tell you what, this Iago is looking like an all-star in this Amber Steel matchup.
You gonna take out the P2, or is there another way? Just quest.
Just quest. We're evasive power right now.
Evasive power.
We're
And
just
the
like,
Hades can
whatever.
challenge the P next turn.
Like I did find a Storm Rage on off the Robin.
Okay. you can
So
take
that
out
helps a bit.
Finally, take out Iago.
Yeah, more than likely, I would say. Looks like he now has Zeus, Storm. So we get rid of Iago, which either way, we're getting rid of Iago there. 2 damage or vanish ability. And yeah, there's a Zeus in hand. There's a Rhino. There's a Rapunzel. No real good way to get value out of this Rapunzel.
All evasive.
Unfortunately. So I think this might just be a slam a Rhino turn.
Absolutely. Big card. Every turn, Scott plays a big Floodborn.
Yeah.
And every turn, Victor's been able to take it out.
Yeah, that's tough.
No. Red Blue Shark gets pretty tough.
9 more. Just a bit satisfying, and to hopefully the viewers, Amber Steel, strong but not unbeatable.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's the most, we saw the graph, most popular deck here.
Yep.
And masterclass that you can take it down at your local store with this Amethyst Sapphire strategy.
Oh, like that.
And
I
that
like
moves
it. Was
damage.
that 3?
Gets through
Oh,
the
so
resist.
good. So good. Bell
We have not
just
seen
eating
Bell yet this
eating
match.
rhinos.
And extremely efficient.
Yeah. I think that's going to probably be curtains on that one. That was such a strong play.
Yeah, that kind of turn requires some setup. I bet he's been thinking, if I draw a Bell here,
Yep.
up to triple-digit viewers,
Ben and I were
let's
talking
go.
about
Croquet
that.
Mallet, the MVP of this match.
It's
Is he going to
back.
give the Bell?
Yeah, why
rush?
not? He could. He could have.
Gotta save it for a bigger threat.
Yeah. That is the 5th croquet mallet in this game.
Little hamster, Rhino. Challenge. Get some
Oh,
damage
so get the
counters.
Rapunzel value. Okay.
We all got tricks.
Okay.
Not going to make this easy either.
I like it. A couple good draws, too. No singer to note for that whole new world. But it looks like there's a Lawrence and I don't know that last card in hand.
Can't use it this turn. That little Robin Hood. Just saying, just in case you can get a shift and the whole new world in the same turn.
Yeah, that baby Robin, he's been hanging out for a good 4 or 5 turns now, I think.
Yeah, Scott's just never had the chance to shift and use the song.
Notable, more afraid of the Rhino.
I resist.
We Elsa'd the Rhino. All right. Oh,
Elsa,
never mind. We just got
Rapunzel.
all the Elsas.
Challenge there. 4, 5,
all right.
6 into that.
Yeah. So this is the board I was talking about in game 1. This is normally the boards that you see Sapphire Amethyst have, and then all of a sudden they're just gonna gain 10 more. And you're like, oh, I lose. All right. Like all this willpower, all these little dies on the table. We are deciding to take 2 lore over even challenging Pete there, which I don't think is wrong.
Yeah.
If I'm being
Just
honest,
let the linger.
you're like, go ahead, man, you figure it out.
Doing some math. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly 20. Here it comes. Oh, a good play. Everybody's got a weakness. But why do you have to? But no real reason to.
I don't think we have that card.
Yeah, just kind of win more. This is a perfect example of why you don't need that card in this deck.
Yeah.
Is if you have 5 damage counters, you're probably winning.
Yeah.
Philip from Emerald Steel. Good shout out. That's kind of a way to deal damage to multiple characters.
It didn't. It only banishes Peter Pan.
Peter Pan is out. The Elsa's all survive. Keeps lethal off the table.
Yeah.
Ember Steel kind of forced into using grab your swords because of the worded characters like Prince
Yeah. I
John.
mean this is obviously a. I like to often reference this as a play that doesn't lose the game.
Keeps them alive.
It's only two.
Still got a handful of
did he have two?
cards.
Oh yeah, two down for the grab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Finally
So
cashes in. Buys them. Hopefully 2 turns here.
yeah. Elsa army could just be good enough.
You're just gonna quest.
Because like we can play any card and a croquet mallet if we want to. We just whale it.
Just whale it.
It's just we just got the giant whale.
Deck has gotten a chance to see play.
Yeah.
The Monstro finally makes it. Bell, Bloodborne, croquet mallet.
Yeah, I like Fox Elsa here. Get the most out of it. Very nice. And yeah, I mean this is 4 lore in play. Zeus a Monstro. See you later. Play a hamster, and that's it.
Is that it?
This is gonna be game 3, and then like I wouldn't even challenge. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. Just Elsa into the unknown, and good for Scott for not picking up his deck.
Into the unknown.
Into the unknowns.
He cleared it with Elsa.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the combo.
Yeah.
Straight from the card.
He did the whole thing. He did the whole thing.
Yeah, it all happened so fast.
Yeah.
Methodical. What a great match.
Wombo combo. As a reminder, we are sitting here at the Encounter Comic and Games. This is the 1K tournament, but we're also playing for something pretty valuable, Rob. Playing for a buy in the first round of the $15,000 main event at Saturday, July 5th for Pro Play Games Summit in Texas. Are you attending, Rob?
I would like to, especially if I get this buy.
Okay.
I think everybody wants to be there in Texas, right? Central, all across the U.S. You could be global.
Yeah, you were there last year.
Yeah, come in.
Because it is in the same venue of DLC Fort Worth last year.
Yeah, the Hunter Memorial tournament.
That's based in the event,
Yeah,
but
right
not
around
at.
there.
I don't think it's not in that particular convention, but yeah.
So it's a big spot for Lorcana.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really well-run
It is.
tournament. PPG has run some great events. I'm really excited. If I'm not there, I'll be tuning in.
There you go. I believe Saturday is currently at 450 players.
Oh my goodness.
And Friday is currently at 320 players.
Is there a cap for anybody in the,
I
in the chat?
think currently
Mhm.
Friday is capped,
Friday's
but
capped.
I have been told and informed that they will be releasing more tickets.
Oh, you
So
heard it
more
here
tickets
first.
coming.
Be on the lookouts. Watch. Where can they follow you?
So
to see some of
definitely,
this information?
it'll definitely be shared on the Forbidden Mountain, anywhere you can find it. It'll also be
X.
shared by Pro Play Games
Play games.
on all socials, Instagram, Facebook, so wherever we share the stuff.
They also have like One Piece and
Yeah, so they do have. It is like a very large weekend for them. They have the One Piece, they have Yu-Gi-Oh, and they also have Edison. So they have both formats for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Huge. Huge.
So our only question for you is did you at all consider the croquet mallet on turn 2? Like that whole play that he had on turn 2?
No.
Okay, so that was it. You lost because of that.
Dan
I called the whole
like,
thing. I literally
he was
called the
like,
whole
this
thing.
would be legendary.
Yes.
No, we didn't
No,
know
but
he had
we didn't
it,
know he had it.
but we were just like, this is
'Cause,
possibly
like,
susceptible to
The
croquet
moment
mallet.
he didn't
Bell
play
on
the
turn
bell
one.
on turn 1, we knew he had bell. So I'm like, oh, the only reason I would not play the bell on turn 1 is if I was hoping my opponent quest it with Robin. And then you did it. No, you lost.
Oh, wow.
All right.